Hey, welcome back to 6 Degrees North Country Living. I'm your host, Greg O'Connor, and today I have a special treat for you, some country poetry by my good friend Tony Z. I know you're going to love this.
What is it with deer camp? I have often heard folks ask. Well, it's hard to explain in simple words those cherished traditions of the past. It's a place we go during mid-fall, with family and friends alike, at a time of year when leaves float down and the temps start their spike. Whether camp is just across your town or a 1,000-mile drive, we make that trip year after year, longing for what's inside. But what's inside a deer camp? Well, for those who have never been, inside a camp at that time of year, you will find some good old men. They know the trees, they have studied the land, each one so full of wit. They shake your hand and tell you things that you never should forget. Maps are seldom drawn, but their words will lead you when it's dark, and not just down an old logging trail, but on every journey you shall embark. You say these men stay for a week, and deer hunt is all they do. For all the stories and laughs they share, it just cannot be true. There's so much you need to learn yet, we just don't sit and wait. With wood to cut and tasks to do, each man must pull his weight. Firewood needs hauling so the folks in camp won't freeze. This wood gets cut and all stacked up, thanks to the hardwood trees. And no one dare hit the woods without being fed, for even the biggest guy in camp would probably wind up dead. And how can I forget, before a day can even start, the coffee must be perking before the first man can depart. So it's a yearly trip with so much to do and many good times to share. But for that one special week each year, what else do you do up there? We gather round a big table which is dimly lit by lantern light, day in and day out each day of the week until the middle of the night. We laugh and joke and tell stories galore, camaraderie fills the air, talking guns and trucks and old hunting dogs and all the memories we all have shared. Then one by one these men filter their way off to their beds, and there is no doubt what all night long is going through their head. They dream of big bucks and practice what to do, each step that must be made, before that big 10-point buck can be laying there on the sleigh. You say these men cook their meals and split the wood which they must burn, but it just doesn't seem those guys like that would ever volunteer a turn. It's not like that at all, you see. In camp no man plays a fool. We were all taught from young on just how to be old school. You were on your best behavior when you tagged along with Dad as a boy. For Dad to see how far you've come sure must be a joy. The first year out with Dad, you just sat next to him in a shack. Then in 5 short years, it was your first buck that the two of you would track. He guided the knife with his voice as you dressed out your first buck. Then each grabbed hold of an antler as he was drug off toward the truck. There's a picture tacked above your bunk with that buck and Dad's big grin. So proud that he has taught you, just as someone had taught him. The things you say about deer camp are beginning to form a mold. It sounds like many of the traditions date back to the times of old. Indeed they do, there is no doubt. The ways and traditions of the past have been passed down for generations, and forever they will last. In the hearts and souls of the greatest men who have ever walked this land. Year after year, you will find these men out on post in their deer stand.
Welcome back. I told you were going to love that. Thank you, Tony. I sure appreciate you coming in and reading that for me. And we'll definitely have him back on with some more poetry. Just to kind of, let you know why there's so much music, and we're going to do poetry and some other things that, when you live in the country, you don't always have internet and some of those devices that the trappings of the city. I know it's fun and all, but you just don't get it out in the country sometimes. It's a funny experience trying to get some internet hooked up where we live, and we're not very far from the city, so we thought that we could get it, but man, we spent couple days in contact with this company, and the salespeople want to get their sales, so they would tell us, yeah, they can do it, and of course they couldn't. So long story short is it was a lot of hassle for nothing at all. We didn't get any internet. I do all the shows with a mobile device, so sometimes the quality is a little better than at times than others. So I really appreciate you listening. I'd like to say thank you to all the listeners out there, friends and families and people I've never met before. I sure appreciate you tuning in, checking out the show. I really strive for people to enjoy it. So thank you so much. And we're right in getting to the heart of winter, so temperatures are getting cold in most parts of the country, and a lot of us use a wood stove or fireplace, and this is the time of year you really want to get out and cut wood. You generally want to cut wood when the sap is down, it's not running. It makes the logs lighter, of course, and you just have less moisture in there when you cut them, and makes life a whole lot easier. So when you're out there cutting your firewood, it's a good chance to scout trees for milling in the spring. They make portable mills now. They make very affordable mills, sawmills. So if you're really getting serious about the country living and kind of doing things on your own, a mill is definitely an important tool to have. Like I said, there's the chainsaw or the bandsaw type, and the main differences is the price and the quality of the cuts. You can do pretty good with both of them. So once you decide that, but this is the time of year you want to get the trees cut that you're gonna use in the spring on your mill. One thing that's pretty important for you to do too, after you get your tree cut and you're thinking about lengths, and the mills definitely have maximums, 20 inches, 18 inches, somewhere in that department. You want to seal the ends of your tree once you get it down on the ground and in a spot that you're going to keep it up off the ground. Let it kind of cure for the winter. Let some more of that moisture dry out. Those ends, though, you definitely want to seal them. Really, the simplest thing you can do is an old can of latex paint you got laying around in the garage or in the back corner of your bedroom. Just take that and paint those ends. Make sure you gob it on there good so it doesn't split. You don't want those ends to split out on you. It's kind of a bummer to save a log all winter and then you go to mill it and it's split out on the ends, or the rings have separated, and really kind of you feel like you've wasted a lot of your time and effort. But those are just some little tips and tricks about getting ready for your milling. Of course, milling comes down to what you plan on building, so plan it first. If you're gonna build a little chicken coop, you're gonna need some 4x4s or some 6x6s. You're gonna need some beams and trusses. So those are all things you got to get a cut list put together, and then you go out with your list, and as you're cutting your firewood, you look around. You'll be looking at trees anyway, so you can find the trees that you're going to use. So that's kind of today's country living tip. I'd like to say thanks again to everybody out there. Especially like to make a shout out to my listener in the UK. Now, I realize that I'm probably hard for you to understand. My accent is northern for sure, northwestern, though I reside here in Wisconsin nowadays. Hope that you're country living out there in the UK. I'd like to say thanks again. 6 degrees north country living. Love ya. Bye.
Heading down I-90, ain't another soul in the world but me. Gonna find me some fortune and fame. When I get back, gonna have a name. I'm heading down that lost highway, hoping something good's gonna come my way, and I'm really gonna make it big. Right after this next gig. I ran out of gas, hadn't eaten all day. Lady gave me 5, said be on my way. She got me out of town, yeah, she saved my hide. I grabbed my guitar for another ride. I'm heading down that lost highway, hoping something good's gonna come my way, and I'm really gonna make it big. Right after this next gig. Black hills, wheat fields, playing for change. I'll drink your beer, just remember my name. I left my car in a busted heat. I rode with a trucker, was a Jesus freak. Heading down that lost highway, hoping something good's gonna come my way, and I'm really gonna make it big. Right after this next gig. Heading down Route 41, gonna make this my last run. Heading down to Nashville, Tennessee, see what she has in store for me. Heading down that lost highway, hoping something good's gonna come my way, and I'm really gonna make it big. Right after this next gig. Yeah, I'm really gonna make it big. Right after this